Hello, 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 everybody. Let's get this going on today. Let's see here. Let me come on screen. Hold on one second. Hey there, let me know who's on. I see you guys joining. We are on Facebook, YouTube, X, as well as Instagram. Yes, so let me... let's see here. All right, let me get this. Oh, let me turn this off. There we go. All righty, good. Let me do full screen. There we go. Hey there, good afternoon. I'm a little bit teensy bit late. I had a coaching call. I was on with someone, so we ran over just a little bit. How's everybody doing on this afternoon? Let me check the chat. Go ahead, tell me where you're watching from. I am so excited. Good. Hello there, Bishop, Apostle Mother. Glad to have you on. My YouTube folks, I thank you so much helping me get my views up, streaming on YouTube. Where are my Facebook folks? Let me know that you are watching. I got a really good teaching on today. We are talking about, is experience killing your church growth? Think about that. Is experience killing your church growth? Can you guys hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me so that I can make sure before I get to going that everything is sounding a-okay. I got an extra little smile on my face today because look what I've got. Got my red vines. You all know I love red vines. I'm a red vines girl to heart. In fact, I think, I don't know if it was April 14th, but it was National Licorice Day. And so your girl truly represented because I love licorice. Thank you. I can see you guys telling me that you can hear me. So that's good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so today, for those of you that I've not had the pleasure of meeting, let me just introduce myself. I'm Robin Ware, and I'm a church consultant, and I am so excited that I get to work with churches, pastors, and leaders, helping them to operate in excellence, as well as I love teaching on hospitality and customer service. So, which kind of leads me to my topic on today. For those of you that are new, welcome. And to those of you that have been here before, you know to get ready because I got some great tips and tools that I want to share with you. So I want you to be able to take notes. Oh, somebody asked me to show my shirt, my prophetess shirt. That is available over on my website. I'll talk more about that at the end. But let me jump into this because, like I said, I'm running behind and I want to respect your time. I try to be on at 12 noon. I try to go on for 30 minutes. And so that is what my goal still is for today. So let's get into the teaching. I love to read. I'm an avid reader. As a matter of fact, where's my other book? I must have left it upstairs. But I am currently reading 2 books, Atomic Habits, as well as We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rogers. And I wanted to talk about experience, y'all. Let me just say, experience, we often say, is the best teacher, but experience can also be, I hate to say death, but it can be death to ideas. It can be death to vision. It can be death to growth. And that's what I'm focusing on today. And I'm getting, what made me think about this was this book. I read this last year, Unreasonable Hospitality. I love this book. Now, I know you may be thinking, oh, it's a hospitality book. No, it's not. It is a leadership book that I'm telling you will bless your life. And one of the things, let me see what chapter is this. Chapter 8. It says, it's titled Breaking Rules and Breaking a Team. Now, the author, Will Guidara, he wrote this book from his lens of being a chef and wanting to work at a 5-star restaurant. The subtitle, Unreasonable Hospitality, the Remarkable Power of Giving People more than they expect. I love that. For me, of course, it's biblical. Matthew 5:41 says, when people ask you to go 1 mile, go with them 2. Yes, give them more than what they expect. So in this book, this just jumped out at me because, again, he talked about experience. So the story that he tells is, in this restaurant, they were, again, trying to be 5-star. They were trying to win the Michelin award. And he talks about that he went up to a table and he greeted them and he touched the table. Listen to this. One of his bosses walked up to him and asked him the question, "You leaned on the table?" And he says, "Yes." He writes, "That's a real fine dining no-no. We don't put our hands on the table. We never do that." He said, "How come?" Listen to this. He says, "I wasn't trying to be a jerk. I was genuinely curious." The guy that corrected him, his boss, literally looked like he was going to explode. Says it's a classic rule of fine dining that you don't touch the table. He still responded to his manager and said, "But why not?" His manager says, "I don't know why. We just don't. We just don't do that." When I tell you, that just jumped out at me. In ministry, how many times have we told someone to not do something a particular way? And you can't really tell them why. It's just something that we don't do in this church. We don't know why, but we want you as the new person to come on board and do what we say. I love this. He writes, "My inexperience enabled me to look critically at every step of service and to interrogate the only thing that mattered, and that was the guest experience." Again, he's working at a restaurant, which was connecting to people. He says, "Most of the time, excellent training makes you better at what you do. Athletes practice all day, every day, to ensure that their muscle memory will take over as soon as the ball or racket hits their hand. By definition, impeccable training enables you to perform tasks without needing to think about why you're doing what you're doing." Listen to this, which is fantastic if your job is to have an astronomical free throw percentage. That's not the job. That's not what we're trying to do in ministry. He says, but muscle memory isn't always a good thing. Training like that can also be like putting on a pair of blinders. Again, when I tell you, this just ministered to me as I was reading it. How many times have we onboarded someone, and again, we can't really explain why we do things the way we do? We just do it, right? We have no idea, and when they question us, we can't even tell them, we haven't even thought it through. Does it make sense? Again, in my where's my book? In my book, I guess I'll just grab this one. In my book, While You're Guest, one of the things I talk about is the importance of not allowing history to decide your future. How many times have we preached that in a sermon? That we don't let our past define our futures. But yet, we as leaders, we train people based on the way we've always done things or the way things have been done in the past. Listen to this. This is the money, y'all. This is the money point. He says, knowing less is often an opportunity to do more. Woo! When I tell you this, bless my soul. Why is that? Well, it's because when you don't have a preconceived notion about how something should work, you're more open, you're more inquisitive to try things a different way. He says, a rule born out of tradition that doesn't serve the people it's supposed to, or worse, one that stands in the way of a new leader being able to cultivate relationships, will kill, and he says your restaurant, but I'm going to say your church. Oh, somebody's asking me what is the name of the book. Unreasonable Hospitality. Unreasonable Hospitality. I love that. Just as tastes change, I don't know about you, but I love chicken salad. But I don't love everybody's chicken salad. Just because you present me with a plate of chicken salad doesn't mean I am automatically going to eat it or enjoy it. Now, my favorite place to get chicken salad is Chicken Salad Chick. I don't know if you have that restaurant in your area, but we have that here in Atlanta. And when I go to a deli, I ask about their chicken salad. But depending on how it's made, I may or may not like it. I don't really care for grapes in my chicken salad. The traditional way is to have grapes in your chicken salad. But Chicken Salad Chick, they're innovative. They do have chicken salad with grapes in it, but they actually have 7 different recipes, 7 different types of chicken salad that you can eat, that you can buy, that you can taste, right? Because they understand that the audience they're serving doesn't want things just one way. There's more than one way. One of my girlfriends said this to me a long time ago. She said, Robin, there's more than one way to the top. I say it all the time. There's more than one way to Disney. I live in Atlanta. You could take 75 South. Yeah, but you also, you could take 75 South. You could take 41 South. You could take a plane. You could take a train. Yeah, there are multiple ways to get there. So what he says is that when we are building, when we have, he's talking about restaurants, but I'm going to say church growth. When we're focused on church growth, make sure that the people you're putting in place, that you have put them in place based on who they are and not necessarily on their resume. Yeah. Do they have creative ideas? Yeah. Do they have, witty inventions? Are they open to doing things differently? I'm pretty classic style with my clothes. And some of my friends say to me, Robin, you should loosen up. That's okay. I'm open to that. So I wasn't offended because I knew that they wanted the best for me. Now, I could have said, nope, I'm going to always just wear the same type of clothes all the time. But I realized that as times changed, I needed to change. And that's what they were trying to say to me was, you need to change. And a lot of us, we're killing our church growth because we fail to recognize that times have changed. How many of you all still have bulletins in your church? There's nothing wrong with a bulletin, but if you want to give someone a copy of the order of service, the new way is to create it online and take that link and embed it in a QR code. And then you tell your audience, your congregation, to use their smartphone and to take a picture of that QR code, or they can just aim their camera at the QR code and it will open, it will present a link that they can open and it shows a bulletin. And, when I say bulletin, it doesn't have to be, the full order service and how much offering was, the old school ways, but it can be a list of our announcements, key things we want them to focus on. And my favorite is a sermon notes sheet. And again, being creative, being open, because I'm that tech girl. I love to incorporate technology. I would incorporate a fillable form that has the sermon title and then a space with, 1, 2, 3 for points that they can actually fill in the points themselves. I know some pastors aren't able to give you what all the points are, say by Thursday, so that you would have time to create that fillable form, but just create a generic one. That's why I tell my leaders when they get all frustrated that, oh, I got this idea, but we're not able to do it because this. Listen, don't be defeated. You do not need to wave the white flag. No, I need you to embrace that there are multiple ways to get the job done. All right. So create that fillable form, brand it with your church name, your logo, all of that, and then put it on a graphic with a QR code. Now I use the QR code system that will allow me to embed my website. Let me show y'all. In fact, I can, let me see if I have it on here. Yeah. So like this QR code, it says sow a seed. Now I'm not asking you to sow a seed into me. I'm just showing you how this works. But if the Lord wants to use you, let him use you. Amen. But anyway, I want you to make it excellent. Everything that I do, I'm always focused on excellence. So make that QR code, use a system that will allow you to brand the QR code with your colors, that will allow you to brand your QR code, in fact, with your logo even. I thought I had one. Let me see here. I know I was kind of joking there. Oh, I do. Won't God do it? Watch this, y'all. There it is. See? That's the QR code. My colors are red, white, and black. And you see my logo right there in the middle of it, the Wear Agency. See? I'm telling you, if I can create this for myself, I'm a solopreneur, you can do that for your ministry. It is, again, that's why you want to make sure that you hire people to lead or ask volunteers to lead that are open. My bishop always says the future belongs to those who are open to positive change. All right. So I want you to think about your policies as it relates to how your church functions. How many of those policies need to be examined? Probably all of them. I talked yesterday about having an AI policy. Someone said to me, I never thought about it. Well, I'm glad that I was able to be a blessing and to help you think about it. But, as times change and the church adapts, we need to make sure that we're ahead of the curve and that we are able to lead and guide those that we've asked, that we've entrusted their voices to speak to the congregation. So we need to make sure that we give them guidance. They want it. I'm telling you, I am a leader and I love learning. I love being invited to meetings. I love being able to talk through, creative ideas. That may not be you, but if you've got someone that is helping to move your church forward, then they need to be creative and they need to be, someone that is open to change. So again, this is a great book unreasonable hospitality. Talking about is experience the culprit for your lack of church growth. I can't stress that enough. It's really important. It's imperative, in fact, that you make sure that everyone on your team, that they're not stuck in what was, right? That they're open. If the church is going to move and grow forward, I always say this when I do my workshops, my radical hospitality workshops, that there's not a reward in heaven for you to say that you were the head usher for 40 years. Absolutely not. In fact, I love it when I speak to pastors and they say we make our leaders reapply for their positions every year or every other year. I think that's healthy. And you know what it does? It causes your leaders to not take ownership of their position. I run this. No one can tell me what. No. This is kingdom. Everything we do is based on what's best for this ministry. So if you have your people apply for their positions, part of that application process, what's your vision? What's your vision for this ministry? Once the vision for the church has been casted, then you as the leader, you should have a plan that supports that vision. You should have a strategy that helps those on your team to implement the vision of the house. But when you don't challenge leadership, when you don't challenge them with what are your plans, when you don't hold them accountable, you all know that hang out with me that I always say, what gets measured is what gets done. We owe it to our leaders to challenge them, to measure them. Listen, I stand on the word of God, so I challenge the scriptures. How is that? Because when I stand on my faith, listen, I told y'all, I got my prophetess shirt here. This shirt that I designed has 45 scriptures that say, I win, I succeed, and I should have wealth. The word prophetess, y'all see it says trademark. That's how much I believe in it. I trademarked that word. That's what that plaque is above my head. I hired an attorney and all of that, and I trademarked it. Because if my business is not growing and I am implementing these scriptures, I've activated my faith, right? My walk is witness worthy. I have every right to challenge the scriptures to produce the results that the word says I can have. Anything that you hire, listen to this, or I like to say employ, anything that you employ, you have a right to measure its production. Think about it. If you hire somebody on your team, you're going to measure their production. Well, I hire my faith. So I measure its production. So when great things happen for me, I'm not shocked. Absolutely not. I expect great things to happen for me. Why? Because the word says, if I do and implement and activate and walk in and speak and declare and confess and read and honor and sow, I'm going to be a prophetess. See, as leaders, this, again, a great book. Don't let your experience shut your growth off, stun your growth. Just because you achieve success in one way, it doesn't mean that there aren't other ways that you can achieve success. All right? So I want to challenge you on today. Spend some time, do some introspection. In fact, in my book, While Your Guests in the back, I have a whole assessment. And it says my service attitude, my service attitude. And I give this out every time I do my radical hospitality workshop. And I ask the leaders, everybody will tell you, oh, I love serving and, I love working with God's people. No, you don't. Prove it. And I give them this assessment. And this is the kicker. The assessment will tell them, based on a scale of 1 to 10, how much they enjoy serving. And of course, it's a self-assessment. So you're able to choose on that scale of 1 to 10, the different questions, and you total it so that based on your score, if you are, someone that is, super enthused about serving or someone that's, kind of mediocre about it. But listen, I almost have to break up fights because I break up the leaders into groups based on their score. And leaders, it never fails. Some of them will say, oh, no, you don't belong in that group. You are not super enthusiastic. And the people are like, what? Me? Oh, no, I love serving. They're like, no. We ask you to wear a t-shirt and you come in and you've cut it up, rolled it up, knotted it up, cut the sleeves, cut off the collar, and then you got on big bold necklaces and earrings, anything to not be totally in submission. So no, you don't love serving. And it just blows their mind. So I'm telling you, do the work, do the introspection. I want you to enjoy serving. And I want your church to grow, and I want you to grow. And one of the ways to do that, again, is to not allow experience to be the culprit that stunts your growth. Listen, I pray that you've been blessed. I'm right at almost 30 minutes. Again, I am excited to be back on with you guys. I am here at 12 noon. I see your comments. Thank you, Apostle. She said change is necessary. Good. She really enjoyed this teaching. I see you guys over on Instagram, Facebook. Listen, your girl, I'm just doing it, right? I told you, give me a minute or two. I would be back, comfortable using all my tools. Again, I am excited. I've been working on sending out my graduation announcement, as well as working on my graduation party. So keep me in your prayers. May 11th is graduation, my Master's of Divinity. And then I'm going to do a party to celebrate. I always tell people I'm not married. And of course, my parents are in heaven, and I have siblings, but I'm not worried about who's going to throw a party to celebrate me? I'm going to throw my own party to celebrate me, right? I love me and I'm proud of my accomplishments. I worked really hard. And so I am going to celebrate. Some of y'all won't even go to the movies by yourself. Nope, not me. I'm not going to miss out on life because I am single. All right. So I'll be sharing more about that. Thank you, Apostle. Yes. She's saying she's proud of me. She's watched my journey. She knows from whence I have come. Amen. Thank you guys so much. Be sure. Let me just give you this. Go and check out. I told you I've got my new website. It is all fresh and pretty. Go check it out, thewearagency.com. And on the store page is where you'll see all my different books, as well as my trainings that you can take advantage of. And then I wanted to make sure, let's see if I can do it. I told y'all I'm trying my best. Let's see here. Maybe not. I will get back to it as I wanted to share my some of the books and things I put together. But nonetheless, it's okay. Thank you guys. And again, I appreciate your orders. I got some t-shirt orders that we're going to be filling and sending out even on today. So God bless you guys. Have an amazing day.